or the Worgen here.
Okay, I already played it's Fireball card, so I guess I can't do that with its Arcane Missile, so we'll let that one roll.
So the question is, do we want Charge or do we want Stealth? Now, Stealth is great. They both guarantee an attack, really, because Stealth, you're probably going to live until the next round, and Charge, you don't even need to. You can attack right away.
I kind of like the 1-drop better than the Charge Minion. Charge Minions are great, but since we're already a mage, we already have 1 point of directed damage.
Well, if they have a 3 health minion, though.
And we have 4 mana, it's true. I mean, I lean towards the Infiltrator, but...
I lean towards the Murloc.
Okay, so how do we resolve this?
We can fight to the death.
Okay. I went with Fireball last time, so make your choice. Murloc.
We don't have to fight to the death. Oh, an epic!
And a Murloc War Leader.
That's true. Well, this is interesting because...
Oh my goodness. I don't know what to do with this.
We already have 1 Murloc, so we could pick another Murloc and try and go that route for this. Or we've already got Kirator Mage. We could take the Spellbender and we could go more secrets.
Yeah, and I like the secrets. The Spellbender's a little bit too focused, I think.
Interesting.
I mean, it might end up being useless against our opponent.
It's true. I mean, it will soak up any kind of targeted removal and any buffs that they play on their own minions. So I think really it could be useful, but it could, you're right, be completely useless.
And I'm going to stop for a minute because we actually have a question about are we just picking a card rotation, and we can sort of explain how the deck building of it works.
You want to?
Sure. I can jump right in. So the card rotation, these cards are just randomly being put up here.
Right.
And so the first pick would be like, oh, it's a common pick. It's going to randomly throw 3 common cards up there,
right.
And we're just going to pick one. So it really could be, we could be seeing tons of specific cards. We could see an all-secret version of this, or 6 fireballs, or we really have no idea what we're going to see. So it's random. And each time we're picking that card, it's going into our deck, and we're going to be picking 30 cards. And once we pick those 30 cards, we don't get to change them from then on out. Those are the 30 cards we're running with.
That's right. Well, this is a tough point, kind of a decision point for our deck. Is do we focus more Murloc? We could take the Faceless Manipulator, but it's better when you have a lot of giant, really worthwhile minions to copy, or if your opponent's playing a lot of giant minions, which we may not see in the
Yeah, and I lean towards either the Manipulator or the War Leader. I think the Spellbender's out because it's just a little bit too narrow for me, even though we have the Kirator Mage.
Well, I'll tell you, I would have picked the Spellbender, but I think given we've already taken 1 Murloc, let's just dive right in.
Okay, Murlocs it is.
And we're gonna see if we can
and
get
we
more
will
Murlocs.
see. Whoa!
I think it pays off. Murloc Tidecaller. We could really start going Murlocs here.
Except that it's funny. Just 1 pick ago, this would have been easy because I would have looked at Vaporize and gone, Vaporize is awesome. Although I know you're a big fan of the Arcane Golem.
Yeah, well, I think the Arcane Golem is great and even better with some additional combos. But I don't think we're going to see those combos in the arena.
And actually, I can answer a question that we have about rarity gems and rarity. So you can tell the rarity of a card. See these cards, they have a blue gem in the center of them, so that means that they're rare.
Right.
A previous pick, there was an epic pick that had the purple gems in the center of them. And if we ever get a legendary pick, there will be orange gems, but it's random. We may not get one at all. We have no idea.
So I assume we're taking the Murloc.
I'm okay with let's go Murloc.
All right, we're doing a Murloc
Oh, but it
deck.
pains me. Oh my goodness.
Wow, we're getting a lot of rares and epics in this deck.
We are pretty lucky.
All right, so well, these are great early drops, and we're running a little light on them. But this is an incredible 6-drop.
And we're going to fill out that early drop selection with all of our Murlocs that we're going to randomly, hopefully get.
That's true.
I hope.
So you want to go with a 6-drop here? Charge Divine Shield.
The Archer Commander is Charge and Divine Shield. I mean, often you drop it on the table, you run it into a guy, it kills it, and you still have a 4/3 out. Whereas if you just drop a Divine Shield guy on the table, if it's a big one, often the enemy will just assassinate it or polymorph it or something like that, so you're not getting the full value.
Archer Commander it is.
And then we have the Sunwalker to complete it.
Yeah,
or
another
Divine
secret. Shield minion. The Sunwalker is so good.
And another rare pick. What the heck is going on here? This is
We're getting a lot of rare picks.
I thought I'd answer a question.
Sure.
People are asking who we're playing against.
Oh, sure.
And when we play against somebody, it'll be somebody in our quality assurance department, I think. That'll be.
Normally, you play against another person who had done the arena and has the same record as you.
Yeah. So if we were 1-1, we'd be matched against somebody else who was 1-1.
And your arena deck is going to last until you lose 3 times. So at that point, You get some rewards based on how well you did, and you can do the arena again.
So back to this very difficult pick.
So I think I mean, we just took a 6-drop.
But it's the Sunwalker. I love that guy.
Amazing. He just turns games around.
But the counterspell works well with our Kirantor Mage.
Yeah.
And the Knife Juggler works well with all these Murlocs that we're going to get that haven't gotten yet. And it's cheap.
That's
and we do need some. Look at how many low drops we have. Although we're kind of flat right now. We're.
I cannot not take the Sunwalker.
Click it.
I love the Sunwalker.
Let's do it.
Oh, another mirror entity, an Ascension Shieldmaster, and your opportunity to take that Worgen that you didn't take earlier.
Yeah, but
that I didn't take earlier.
But ever since we took the Kirantor Mage, I keep leaning towards secrets.
Sure.
And I don't know if Mirror Entity is the right pick. It probably isn't, but I'm getting excited about that pick.
We're building the theme deck. Let's do it. Hey! We do it again. Now, at this point, I do feel like we've got a lot of cards that cost 3 mana.
Yeah.
These are really solid 1 and 2 drops surrounding this mirror entity.
I agree. Yeah, and I could either go with the Archer or the Berserker. One of the things that's exciting about the Berserker, since we are a mage, is it has Enrage on it, which whenever it's damaged, it gets +3 attack.
Right.
We could drop it on the table and do 1 damage to it ourselves.
With our hero power, right.
With our hero power, because that's what the mage does. So the Berserker is even more dangerous in the hands of a mage.
I like it. I like the Archer too because you can combo with your hero power, but to do 2 damage. Speaking of dealing damage to yourself, you could ping the Acolyte of Pain here to deal damage to it and draw a card. We could get another Flame Strike.
It's tough because for me, I always want to take the extra Flame Strike, and it's looking a little bit like our deck is going towards the high mana curve, so we could shift our deck from being a sort of balanced deck to a let's hold on, wipe the board with Flame Strikes.
That's true.
And we have the Secrets to let us hold on, we have the Flame Strikes to let us hold on, and then we drop the Argent Commanders and Sunwalkers and Kodos and just run them down.
All right, deal. Let's do it. Well, the Brewmaster is very interesting if we had taken like the Elven Archer, for example, we could have passed it back to our hand and played him again. We don't have a lot of Battle Cry guys. We might get some later. The Razorfen Hunter is strong, but also costs 3 mana. We have several 3 mana cards already. And the Young Dragonhawk is really best when you can buff it and deal even more damage.
Yeah, and we're already talking about not having a super aggressive early deck, just trying to hang on, so the Dragonhawk isn't so good for that. So I could see either the Hunter or the Brewmaster.
Well, I think we should take maybe the Brewmaster.
Yeah, because you were just complaining about how many 3-drops we had,
Yes,
so I don't know if we want to add
true.
another 3-drop there.
Speaking of 3-drops, either we're taking one or we're taking the Angry Chicken.
He's so angry.
Well, the problem with Angry Chicken in a mage deck is there's not a great way to give him enough health that he could possibly be enraged.
But his anger is so great that it might overcome that difficulty. You know what? Let's not take the Angry Chicken. I maybe was going out on a limb there.
So the Imp Master, we don't have a lot of good combos with him.
The Mind Control tech is interesting because if we are going for hey, we're going to just hang on early game and wait for the late game, then the Mind Control tech is great because if they get a bunch of minions out, we drop this and might be able to turn it around even on turn 3.
Yeah, I like that. We've got a lot of 3-drops, but now we have one more. Speaking of 3-drops, here's some more of them. Or we could take the Mana Worm.
I'm thinking the Mana Worm right now because a 1/3 on turn 1 is great for hanging on for a couple of turns and just making it so that the game doesn't advance, so we have time to get to our late game.
And I like to imagine how my deck might play out when I'm doing the arena, and I can imagine Mana Worm turn 1, I don't know, some 2-drop, and then turn 3 I go Kirantor Mage, who makes my secrets free. I play 1, it buffs the Mana Worm. So I'm already planning out these moves in my head. I think Mana Worm fits in well with this
let's
deck.
do it. And there's another question. If you want to jump on how does rarity work, the sort of the balance of rarity, because we mentioned that we are getting more rares, and we were surprised by that.
It's totally random. There are some slots in your deck that are going to at least be a rare, like the first card you pick is going to at least be a rare. And there's others that are also going to at least be rare, but any slot could kind of upgrade to be an epic or a legendary, and the rare slots could also upgrade to be an epic or a legendary. But there is some randomness, and it's not necessarily going to be a better deck if you have more legendaries or epics or rares. Some of the commons are incredible. I think Flame Strike, and here we go, Fireball.
Yeah, if I had a deck with 5 or 6 Fireballs in it, which could happen, because it randomly could happen, that would be a pretty strong deck. And we certainly, internally in some of our play, we had various feedback that, I built this great legendary arena deck, or some others was, I built a legendary deck in arena, and because the legendaries are so specific, it didn't end up being all that strong, and the common deck with a few rares in it ended up being a stronger deck.
Here's a choice. If we're building the later game deck, Shield Bearer helps us get there.
I couldn't agree more, except I want to counter with Fireball. I mean, look at that guy. He's blowing somebody up. It's awesome.
That's a fried gnome in that art, if I'm not mistaken.
And I'm torn, and we don't have a lot of 4-drops, and I agree the 1-drop might be better, although Fireball at 4 mana really can turn the game around.
Let's just commit. Fireballs all day. Fireball! Okay. In this case, I don't want to take a 3rd Fireball, only because one of my favorite arena cards for a mage deck is in this pool, and that's Raging Worgen.
While I think the Raging Worgen is so good, I do also have to say Fireball. No, you're totally right.
I mean, the Mogushan Warden actually, if we're going to keep going a longer deck, might be the best choice. But Raging Worgen, you play him the next turn, you use your Fire Blast on him. Now he's 4 attack and Wind Fury. I mean, he's awesome.
It is, but only if you're playing in a pretty aggressive deck.
That's true.
And we're not going super aggressive, other than say our 3 Murlocs.
We got the Amani Berserker and the Mana Worm. I think we could get away with it.
If you want to try it because it's your favorite card, I just want you to know in the future, I reserve the right to say Fireball.
All right. We'll see if we get any more of those. Hey, now, okay, so this is the Ethereal Arcanist is great the more secrets you had, and if we hadn't taken those Murlocs early on, he'd be amazing right now. We do have 2 secrets still. He might be worth it.
And on the other hand, we could just take a secret. That's true. Actually, the Gadgetzan and Auctioneer is amazing in some decks. It's just we don't have enough spells, I think, to really support the full power of the Auctioneer.
It's true, yeah, we're a little bit lighter.
We have some, and our spells are kind of expensive. With the Auctioneer, you don't want to have a spell-heavy deck.
That's true.
So I think we do go with the Arcanist or Vaporize.
I think we go with the Arcanist.
He is super fun. And he can become, well, let's look at what our secrets are. Our secrets are
They're just 2 mirror entities.
Mirror entities.
So they're not going to stick around too long.
So really, to make the Arcanist work, we need to play the Arcanist and the mirror entity.
We should have taken either Counterspell or Spellbender.
So it means it's a 7 cost, really, to get him out as a 5/5.
Right.
And we have to have both cards.
So you'd rather take Vaporize, is what you're saying?
I could go either. The Arcanist is more fun. I think the Vaporize is probably a better card.
The second we take Arcanist, we're going to see a secret after this.
Okay, Arcanist. We've got to take it then, so we can see that next secret.
Oh, it wasn't the secret. Hey, these are good cards here. I actually like all 3 of these for different reasons. Leper Gnome is a really good early card if you're going to try and rush him down.
Yeah, but
if not, I think he's still pretty good.
He's pretty good, although we're backing away from that a little bit.
Frostbolt is just an incredible spell. And the Nightblade I like a lot just because of how much he does. He's a 4/4 and he deals 3 to the enemy hero. So if they manage to do a lot of damage and they put up a guy with taunt or something, you could still deal that last bit of damage.
And we're trying to build a late game deck, and he's a 5-drop. And even though our plan is to have a late game deck, we don't actually have as many of the late game hitters as I think I'd like to have. So I kind of lean towards the Nightblade, even though the Frostbolt's more fun.
Well, here's a secret that might stick around for a while.
At least until they attack.
This is a very ice-themed choice.
I like it. I like how this worked out. It's a neutral minion, which is a Frost Elemental, and 2 Mage cards, which are Frost.
Yeah. So Water Elemental is great, and I mean just solid. 3/6 for 4 is already good. His power is great, but given that we got the Kirin Tor Mage and the Arcanist, I want to take the Ice Barrier.
Okay. Again, if we see Fireball again, it's Fireball.
It's also good in our theme to try and get towards the later game to get our Flame Strikes online. It gives us a little bit more staying power.
And it's also our theme of having as many 3-drops as possible, so it works with that theme as well. I wanted to answer a quick question.
Sure.
We have a question about, do we keep our arena pools each time you play arena, or is it different time you each play arena?
So your deck you use until you lose 3 times. But every time we do the arena, you're going to see 30 different choices. All the cards are going to be totally different.
Yeah, and you're playing against just everybody else who's playing arena at that specific time. So that's sort of the pool of players, and the pool of cards is specific until you lose 3 times. And then once you lose 3 times or retire it, then you're rewarded depending on how well you did.
Right. And given that we've taken Youthful Brewmaster, I want to take the Novice Engineer here, because you could bounce him and play him again and get an extra card.
I really like the Novice Engineer because it's a card that you drop for 2. The enemy often has removal, but they just don't want to use removal on the Novice Engineer, so you get some hits in without them dealing with it.
This is interesting. Well, this guy's that big hitter you were looking for, the Frost Elemental.
I'm kind of leaning towards that. If we had ended up going with the Gadgetzan Auctioneer, I probably would have gone with the Arcane Intellect to combo it there. But I think we don't have enough big hitters for our late game
Frost Elemental. Speaking of late game, maybe Polymorph here? Maybe Frost Nova?
Maybe Fairy Dragon
Maybe
even?
I think Polymorph is the right choice here. We could use some targeted removal just in case we see something giant on the
Okay,
other side.
and it's fun. You turn people into sheep. What could be more? Come on.
Come
on.
What do you mean, come on? What
Come
are
on.
you commoning? The Flame Strike or the Murloc?
Well, it is a Murloc, though.
We've got some Murloc action already in this deck. He's a great Murloc.
But we could have 3 Flame Strikes in this deck.
That's true. Is that good or bad, though?
I don't know, but it would be 3 of them.
I think we should play it safe here. Take the Bluegill Warrior. He combos well with our Murlocs, and he's good in every phase of the game. I think.
Okay, I agree. It's probably the better choice.
Well, I'm gonna go out here and say I think Stormpike Commando is the best choice in this.
That's excellent, because I was going to say I would either go with the Owl or the Snapjaw. So we have perfect disagreement on this topic.
He's the highest cost minion, and we're going for that kind of late game strategy.
But he doesn't last very long. He goes out there, he almost never even gets to swing.
Well, but he at least gets to use his battle cry to deal 2 damage, so he always has an effect on the game. Maybe not a huge effect.
We are light on 5-drops. I think that for the people who are into this, the community would probably tell us to go with the Owl. I know that the
yeah, he's popular, sure.
and he is good removal, but we do have a lot of high-end removal already.
Sure, no,
and I like the Snapjaw also because he's hard to get rid of.
Sure.
So he lets you sort of delay the game.
We'll take the Owl. You're probably right. Yeah, it's probably best. Well, hey, actually, if we're going to build a late game deck, Priestess of Elune just works amazing in that type of deck.
I totally agree.
Because sometimes you kind of stumble into the late game, pretty low health, he becomes a big hitter and gets you kind of above water.
And I want to tell you that it pains me to agree with you 100% on this, but I'm going to. We got a question.
Oh, yeah.
Can you get legendaries when you're participating in the arena?
They are rarer than epics and rares, so they don't come up often, but absolutely you could get...
Yeah, you could get more than 1 or more than 2 or whatever. It's pretty unlikely, but it is possible.
I did have a deck with 3 legendaries in it.
You are the lucky one.
I went 0-3 with that deck. I did not do very well.
Okay. You are the lucky one who's a terrible player.
So here, Mirror Image works great with a deck that wants to stall out and do things later in the game.
It does, except, and I would agree with you, except that Mad Bomber is one of the best early game, like, deal with their cheap creature cards that is out there.
If they go turn 1 dude, you go turn 2 Mad Bomber. And you have a huge chance of killing that guy with 3 hits.
And then you have a 3/2 out already that they have to deal. So for me, delaying the game, my money's on the Mad Bomber.
All right, we'll do the Mad Bomber. He's fun.
And, oh yeah, it was only a 2-drop, so we didn't.
Oh, this is tough.
So which ones are you thinking? What are you torn between?
The Blizzard and the Murloc.
Okay, that's exactly what I'm torn between, and I'm going to stop doing that because it's paining me to agree with you, but it's the Blizzard and the Murloc
Blizzard
all the
is
way.
so good for our deck, because especially because we could Blizzard maybe turn 6 if we're in danger, and then follow up with the Flame Strike turn 7.
Yeah, and I was going to look at Blizzard and say, and we're pretty light on 5-drops, but then I looked at the Murloc and went, we're pretty light on 1-drops, and it's actually rougher to be light on 1-drops than 5-drops. Although the Murloc, if he's our first 1-drop, he often can be not a great Murloc until you get that synergy going. So I lean towards the Blizzard.
Yeah, the Blizzard is so strong in this deck. And that was our last choice. So this is our full arena deck now over here on the right side. If there's any other questions that you guys have, we can answer them quickly. I think we answered them while we were doing the run, though. So
absolutely.
Let's just jump right in and start playing. This is your key here, and it starts out as a novice key. And every game that we win, the key is going to upgrade and get turn into a better key for every win. So at the end of the arena, when you lose 3 times, you'll use that key to unlock a chest and get better rewards based on the key that you have.
And at the end of our run today, we are definitely going to be unlocking a chest, so we'll talk more about the reward system and all that when we get to that point.
So I hit play. We're going to match against somebody else who's been playing the arena. This is somebody in our quality assurance team who's waiting for us to queue. Do you have any predictions for our deck?
I am worried that we didn't end up with enough early heat. And so we really need to... And my fears were unfounded because those are 2 great early draws for this. I think we lose the Priestess of Elune because it's too expensive. It's a late game.
We're going to draw.
We have a pair of 2-drops. I was worried about us not being able to delay until the right point. We're playing against a Paladin.
Got a trio of 2-drops.
And a 3-drop. And the 3-drop is great for delaying the game. It's an ice barrier. So we're playing against a paladin. So the paladins, if they're not doing anything, they're going to constantly bring out their 1/1s and buffing them. But I think the Mad Bomber is a great counter to some of that early game.
Well, here's something fun. I think the right play here is the Amani Berserker. Now he's got Enrage. If I play the Mad Bomber next turn, as long as all 3 of his
don't hit him. If one hits him,
yeah.
we can do a ton of damage. We can actually go on the offense. I would not have predicted that we would be the ones going on the offense
Well, if we
in
can
the
get
early
some
game.
early game offense, that's huge because we have such a good late game. Well, there's a Novice Engineer.
And that's actually great for us because we run the Berserker into it. And
I think we still Mad Bomb.
I don't know.
Here's imagine, if you will, 2 bombs to the Novice Engineer, 1 to the Berserker.
Or imagine, if you will, 3 bombs straight to our face. Because that could totally happen too.
Well, I kind of want to do this before we attack because it could give us the information we need about who to attack. Maybe you're right. Maybe I should just attack right here.
Because if we attack, we're going to have 2 guys on the table. He's not going to have any. He's still 1 mana away from being able to consecrate away.
Fine.
So he has to use some direct damage to deal with it. We're getting card advantage.
I like to play a little more risky. Hey, we got a couple secrets now. That mirror entity is...
That's actually going to be good because now that we're going to have the heat, okay, he's going to use that to exchange, which is great, which still gives us damage on the table.
Yeah. Yeah, we still got a dude.
And the Kodo, I really like just drawing the Kodo because the Kodo is very likely to be able to,
whatever he
cover
plays
us.
next, we might be able to eat that. All right. I kind of want to play Mirror Entity at this point.
I kind of do too. Not because it's the perfect play. Normally you'd wait till later, but because the Mad Bomber doesn't feel like a good play.
Right.
Ice Barrier doesn't feel like the right play. There's nothing to silence.
But we've got the advantage here. We have the minion. So whatever he plays, we'll have the same one. It copies that minion, and then we'll be able to handle it, hopefully.
And good, using the coin to get extra. And, oh, fantastic.
All right, well, now
we'll take a knight.
We have a Stormwind Knight. Thank you for our Stormwind Knight.
And next turn, what is the Kodo going to do?
Oh, that's right. Perfect. This is great.
The Kodo is going to
We've
eat
just
that
hit
knight.
5 mana. Kodo comes
And
out.
we'll hope that his secret isn't revive, and it was bringing it back as
Well,
a
it could be
2/1.
Repentance here. Oh, yeah. He comes back. Well,
But we can eat it with our knight now.
Yeah.
So it leaves us with a
Knight
3/5
on knight
and a
action.
2/3. We're out of Consecrate range.
That's
so if
true.
he tries to play Consecrate to deal 2 damage to all of our guys, which is very common with Paladins, we're out of that range. And 3 and 5 health is great.
There's that Oasis Snapjaw you wanted to take.
Yeah, well, if we lose to the Oasis Snapjaw, I might, make fun of us
I think
a
the
little.
Snapjaw's much better in the Paladin deck than in the Mage deck because you can buff it.
Yeah,
So
that's absolutely true.
Well,
Mark of Kings or...
we could Fireball it and then finish it off. I don't know how worried you are about the Oasis Snapjaw. If he gets Blessing of Kings, that could be pretty difficult for us. We don't have a polymorph or anything.
Yeah, really, again, the problem is...
we could silence it, though.
We could silence it, so we might bring out the War Leader and put up a secret, maybe? I don't know.
Let's start with let's see if we can figure out what the secret is. It's not eye for an eye. Let's do that. Just put some pressure on. We're still going to be out of range of his...
It's a little sad to bring out the War Leader without any Murlocs out, but our dreams of a Murloc deck sort of were shattered.
Well, we could draw one of those charge Murlocs.
Oh, if we
next
drew the
turn.
Charge Murloc, we're in great shape.
Yeah.
But now he's getting enough mana so he could really start to do interesting combos to us. So I'm less sure about our table remaining secure at this point.
Well, he's definitely worried about that Murloc. Oh, and he plays Light's Justice. That'll let him attack for 1.
But we get the 3 damage.
No.
We get 3 damage on him out of it. So
I'd rather have the Murloc War Leader.
I would too.
Hey, there's that Worgen Infiltrator. He's taking all the cards that we didn't want to take.
It's almost like he said, I really want you to play a Blizzard next turn. I'd like to set up my board so Blizzard is the next best play.
Hey, look at that.
And
This is just perfect. All right, let's Blizzard away these guys. Goodbye. Oh, and there's that secret. Is it another one of those redemptions?
Yeah.
Oh, it's that stealth guy.
No, that was a pretty good draw for him.
Well, we could Mad Bomber.
We could Mad Bomber. We can't then follow up with the direct damage that we'd like to follow up with.
You mean
because we can't ping him or anything like that. The other option is we could attack with the Kodo and then bounce it back to our hand so we have another,
It's true.
destroy
We could
too.
do that next turn, though. I think Mad Bomber, just the chance of killing this Worgen Infiltrator is so enticing.
You play crazy, but let's play crazy, okay?
All right, Mad Bomber, here we go. Big money. Oh, that's good. That's not good.
And
that worked out okay.
how did that work out okay?
Well, we have a 3-2.
Yeah, but he's going to kill it anyway.
You want to finish off this guy with the Kodo?
Yeah, if we do that, yeah, we should probably do that.
You know, he can't attack next turn anyway with that guy.
Yeah, let's go for the face.
He's frozen.
And we have a fireball in hand, so even though it says his health is 15 life, it actually is a lot more like 9, or in fact like 8, because we can use our hero power. So.
Oh yeah, actually, if he doesn't kill all 3 of these guys, we win next turn.
Or put out taunt guys.
Or heal himself.
So we have a question about what's the maximum number of wins that you can get. And go ahead.
Your key keeps upgrading through all the different metals.
Up.
Secret!
I just had to say that so you could do your traditional cry of secret. Anyway, back to...
No!
And that's why we kept the Iron Beak Owl.
Oh, perfect!
And do we have the mana? We have 8 mana. That's exactly game. So unless his...
Depends on what his secret is here, right?
Okay, well, let's
Silence!
And then, let's come on.
Oh,
no.
What is this? No!
You should have attacked.
Oh, no!
You attacked with the wrong guy. You should have expected Noble Sacrifice and had gone in with the Knight.
This is tragic.
That is what we call a misplay.
Oh, bummer. Well, I still feel pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, I do too. And we don't go for the face, but do we have enough mana? We could bounce the owl. We could bounce the Kodo.
Can play him again though.
Actually, how much does the Knight? Is the Knight 4 or 5? 4. We could bounce the Knight, play him again, and attack him with him again because he has charge. And that's great because really we just need to get his life down to what, 7?
Yeah.
Once we get his life down to 7, we win.
All right, let's do it. We're doing it. Playing the Knight again. I think this was his Knight that we copied. Thanks for the Knight.
And
Paladin.
we now have a technical question.
Oh, we didn't answer the last question.
Oh, we didn't? Oops, we should pay
How many
attention.
wins? You can every win you get your upgrader key until you hit the Grandmaster key. And right now, I think that's 9 wins.
And it's at 9 wins right now. We're still playing without, but it's at 9 wins right now. And specifically, once you get up to a certain number of wins, you're guaranteed to get enough gold so you can keep playing and playing and playing, going infinite, as it were.
Yeah. Oh no, he gave 2 of his guys taunt. He doesn't know that we have Fireball, though.
Yes.
And
so
that
we
doesn't care about taunt at all.
So all we need to do is deal 1 more damage to him.
Right.
And it's over.
Unless he heals. If he heals, then we're really we're in a bad place.
But the question was that I was going to ask you, because I don't even know the answer because it's a technical question, is if Resurrection gets played and a bunch of guys died at the same time, who gets brought back?
I believe it's the guy that was played first. Or maybe it was the guy that plays last. I can't remember. But
so a very solid answer from the design team.
We'll look that up.
We can definitely look it up.
Well, okay, so this is tricky. I almost want to just run in here and finish him off with my hero power, even though, no, that's silly. We need to get him into range.
No, if we do that and finish him off with the hero power, we can use the Knight. Oh wait, no, the Knight already attacked. You're right. We should get him into range. We should just blast him. We can drop the Kirin Mage, which makes our mirror entity free.
And we have enough mana to play Fireball.
I don't want to do it, though.
But we shouldn't, because then he knows he needs to heal.
Yes.
So we're going to save it. We'll keep it between us.
Yeah.
And millions of people on the internet.
Yeah. Can we trust you all to keep a secret? Okay.
All right, don't heal. Don't heal.
Yeah, the Paladin, there are a lot of healing spells for the Paladin, though.
That's right, you could lay on hands. Lay on hands would be crushing.
Even a Voodoo...
Sarah.
And
thank you!
Oh, okay, that's pretty good.
Well,
that's wonderful.
All I cared about is they didn't heal himself at this, or use some other card to get armor.
As far as winning goes, I agree. But as far as awesome goes, getting a Sarah really fit the bill.
And we have enough mana to polymorph Izzy Sarah.
Shouldn't we just polymorph?
It doesn't matter. We've won. I just want to style him a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And now, thanks to our 4-mana Fireball, skadoosh! Boom!
That's right. Okay, it worked out great.
Congratulations, first game in the pocket. Excellent. Victory. All right, let's get any questions we want to answer before we jump into the game?
We can answer, what is a dream card?
Oh, yeah, Ysera gives you dream cards. There's a special set of cards only for Ysera that she adds to your hand once every turn.
Yeah, so you'll get one of those cards randomly, so even you don't know what they are.
Right.
But they are pretty awesome.
Yeah, they're good. They're for sure. They're much better than normal cards. Somebody said, when does the arena stop? Well, you can see here, there's 3 loss markers, and every time you lose a game, you'll get a big red X in that box. When you get your third loss, that's when the arena ends. You'll get a prize based on the key that you ended up with.
Or you could retire early, but why would you? Because
Right.
you're just saying,
Yeah, you're just
I don't want more rewards.
Right, exactly.
Who says that?